The Dark Knight Rises is the last movie of the Nolan trilogy, and it is inherently flawed. From Bane to Alfred to the writing, there are flaws everywhere. And let's start by breaking down the writing. This movie was extremely rushed, as this was not even the original plan. The original plan was to have the Joker back, have the trial of the Joker, and have the Riddler. Obviously, with the passing of Heath Ledger, they could no longer continue with the trial of the Riddler, and Leonardo DiCaprio passed on the Riddler, and Christopher Nolan just decided to say fuck it and rewrite the entire script. And now we got this. I think the writing and the directing of this movie completely falls short. Starting off with the fight choreography, as we've talked about it a lot before, but I will say, I saw Batman connect 2 punches in this movie. They were not elbows, 2 punches. But the fight choreography, I don't know if they changed choreographer, really slipped, as there are fight scenes when just these random goons just fall over, do like a backflop when there's no one near them. And it's pretty
you haven't
noticeable.
seen I don't think you've seen yet the first Mortal Kombat movie, but there's
Which
a
one?
scene where
The 90s one?
yeah, the 90s one.
Yeah.
There's a scene where Johnny Cage is filming a movie, and it's stunt dudes, right? And
Yeah.
it's a gag because this one dude, he just keeps kicking him. He's like, dude, you should have fell down like 20 minutes ago. And no one hits the guy, and he falls down. I just think it's just hilarious.
It's so common in movies. It's more common than it should be. I mean, it even happens in The Last Jedi where that happens as well. I don't get how these things aren't caught, and how you can think as a stunt actor, yep, time to fall down, and there's no one near you. Like, what's going on with it? I also think with the writing, I don't like the direction they went with it. I don't like how it's 8 years after The Dark Knight, and I don't buy how there's pretty much very little crime in those 8 years. We talked about The Dark Knight Rises, how there's this escalation as when you bring in a handgun, they bring in automatics. When you bring in the Batman, you get the Joker. Like, how did the escalation stop? I thought, like, the whole point is we're going to start getting more of it, and it's just no crime in 8 years, no need for the Batman.
I understand. That's probably the one thing I understand about this whole movie is they try to go with this whole, and it's just because they're trying to remain with Harvey Dent on a pedestal. So they're trying to say what Harvey did worked. Fuck everything Batman did, but Harvey just, there's no crime since Harvey did.
Yeah. But, like, I think 8 years is too big of a stretch for another supervillain of, like, Bane to come along. 8 years is an insane amount of time.
They try to go
feel like it should have been a
very
lot
much
shorter,
like The Dark
2
Knight
years,
was
maybe.
was an homage or try to emulate The Long Halloween in a way.
Yeah.
This one tries to do a Dark Knight Frank Miller comic sort of thing, where like Batman's been retired for X amount of years.
Yeah,
that's the route that they try to go here.
Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, they also try to do No Man's Land. I think a smaller time jump would have been a little bit more realistic to me, just because I feel like my biggest issue is just in the last movie, them talking about the natural escalation of things, and then it's just stopping. That's the issue, I guess. It's just the message of the last movie didn't tie in well here. I think, like, for the writing, that's my biggest issue, is just more the continuity of it all. And with a lot of the plot holes that they go around with this movie, such as, like, just needing Bruce Wayne's fingerprints to drain his bank account and buy a bunch of stocks, even though they make a point of it saying, hey, need you to look at the camera so we have everyone's face on camera. Bruce Wayne was never there. Like, that would have taken, like, a week to get his money back. Like, you're a lawyer, Edward. How easy and how long would it have taken to get that shit reversed?
We talked about this yesterday, and I was telling Griffin, one of the things here is, like, first of all, Bruce Wayne is one of the richest, most recognizable people on the planet. Yeah. Emphasis on richest. I think it's between him and Luthor and maybe Maxwell Lord in DC. And perhaps Diana Prince, because she's, got gold and shit. But where I'm going with this is that we all know that these billionaire tycoons like Elon Musk and Donald Trump and all these other people, they have armies, not lawyers. They have armies of well-trained fucking, on retainer attorneys at their disposal, like beck and call.
Yeah.
Dude, it would have taken a phone call to get that shit fixed. A phone call. His power gets cut out. I was telling Griffin, I was like, it's outright fucking ridiculous. You're telling me that a man this guy went to China, a country with no extradition, as Batman, and kidnapped a local, and came back. You telling me that a guy with that amount of resources is just gonna be like, yeah, well, I guess I'm
Not some money.
I guess I'm just broke now. I mean,
Yeah.
also
It's
as
like
Griff
the art
says,
pieces.
it's not just the money, it's the connections that the Wayne family has within Gotham alone, just in Gotham. Dude, it would have taken a phone call. It just Fox. I don't even think Bruce would have broken a sweat. Like that scene where he's at Wayne Tower and that one what's his name? The one that's trying to do the hostile takeover of Wayne Enterprises. Daggett. He's like, I want him removed, and he leaves. Bitch, no.
He was never even CEO to begin with. It wasn't his fault.
It was Fox, the one that needed to leave, and then even Fox wouldn't have left. It would have been like, dude. Because again, it makes no fucking sense. Because in Batman Begins, remember, there's a CEO ahead of Fox who's trying to turn the company Wayne Enterprises public. And what Bruce does is he just buys a majority shareholds, so he controls the interest. So it's not like you could just vote me out, dude. There is no vote. So
Not to
that part is
mention
dumb.
that, like, when they're turning over the company in this movie to Tate, I think's her name.
Miranda Tate. He hands it over because she's...
Why was that ever handed over? Again, Lucius Fox is the CEO. Why does it need to be handed over?
Yeah, that makes no fucking sense. Like, because handing it over to some random ass person protects my family's legacy. I never
Also, Fox
that.
never resigned in The Dark Knight. That was clarified too.
Yeah, he tells Bruce, as long as this machine is in Wayne Enterprises, consider this my resignation. And Batman tells him, when you're done, type in your name. I thought it was so he could keep track of his ass. The first time I saw the movie, when he types it in, the machine destroys itself, and then Fox smiles like saying, "Oh, he's a good guy. He's never going to use this shit again," and he doesn't. So Fox, and even at the beginning of this movie, Fox is clearly running Wayne Enterprises. He's even surprised when Bruce
He's
shows
at the head
up.
of the table.
He's like, he still has his little office. He's still running shit. It's
stupid.
Why Bruce makes any call here regarding Wayne Enterprises fucking boggles my mind. But that fingerprint shit, and then they double down on it. There's a scene where like Daggett's assistant tells Selina Kyle, "Oh, we need both prints, both thumbs, because the other fucking fingers, you could chop those off. We just need these two, because that's what's gonna legitimize that it's Bruce Wayne that's making this buy." I'm like, how in the fuck does that even work? First of all, and Griffin brought this up yesterday, he wouldn't even be doing it himself. He would be doing it through a stock portfolio handler or something like that. It's not like he's gonna show up to fucking Wall Street and be like, "I did it, guys." And then Fox, when his lights are cut off, he tells him, he's like, "We can go to court, but it's gonna take." Why the fuck would you even have to go to court for that? It's again,
there's no.
Who
are you suing against? There's no court case. There's no opposition. It's just, this is fraud. Call him up. Say, hey, this isn't right. I mean, look at this. Years of track. It's like, he's what, like almost 40 now? If he's not 40 already in this movie?
Yeah,
there's years of track record here. It's, again, one of the most recognizable people on the planet. At this point, he was not a recluse. He was just seeing alibis. There's so much. There's so much shit.
Dude, he had alibis in The Dark Knight. He took on a holiday date the entire Moscow Ballet, and Alfred just buys alibis for him. That's well known from the comics. So it's not. I'm like, this shit doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We've all seen a charge on our credit card or on our debit cards that we don't recognize. All we do is go to the app. I don't recognize
like 24
this charge,
hours.
And then in 24 hours, your money's back.
Yeah.
You're telling me one of the most powerful men on earth wouldn't just... and again, we'd never see one, but he's got fucking legions of lawyers.
Not to mention they're all on retainer and are already paid for.
Yeah.
It's like... It's
like what he tells that one dude, that one ex-CEO on Batman Begins. It's Wayne Enterprises, Mr. Earl. Someone will fix the shit. You know, it's dumb. That's dumb. The whole... Why Bruce is even involved in anything Wayne Enterprise. I mean, why do you have someone running your shit when you're going to be there, like, second-guessing what he... That's dumb as all hell.
And the entire project that he has, where you have this nuclear core... And, okay, I'm not a nuclear physicist, but I feel like if you're going to flood the nuclear engine... It's not really a nuclear reactor, but if you're going to flood this nuclear engine, we have all this tech that's keeping it stable... And it's keeping it from overheating. It's doing all the necessary things to keep the radioactive material from breaking down. You're going to flood it to destroy it. Okay, great. You destroy all the technological components. all the radioactive material is still there. It's no longer being cooled or regulated. And it's just, the nuclear waste is just going to flood out into the harbor. I guess they really wanted to drive home that he's a billionaire, because that is some billionaire shit they would do, is just sweep it underneath the rug. But that is extremely out of character. And it makes no sense whatsoever.
My issue with the whole nuclear thing is, essentially, we're meant to believe that Bruce invested in this energy saving project. And he invested, Billions. As Fox says, the majority of his fortune into it. Okay. Again, why? Why, if Fox is running things? Where is Bruce? Like, he's a recluse. And he started being a recluse clearly at the end of The Dark Knight. He, like, got home that night, put on his long-ass pajamas, put the suit away, and, you know...
Which I also don't like. I don't like that he became a recluse after that. I don't think Rachel being the catalyst for it makes sense as...
If you're really trying to drive in the idea that Harvey's innocent, it was the Batman who did it, then Bruce should be out there showing his face.
And not to mention that, like, his parents died in front of him as a kid, which is extremely traumatizing, and he knew better then to get up and do something about it. In his mind, his soon-to-be girlfriend died, and he, 8 years, didn't do shit. No one saw him. People made ghost stories about him, and he was just dead to the world. I'm not buying it.
You're telling me that the night the Batman disappears and hasn't been seen for 8 years, and clearly even a police captain's talking about no one's seen Wayne in 8 years, you telling me no one be like, maybe that dude's Batman?
And not to mention, back to my earlier point, all these common criminals that were not caught before, that were not part of, like, the whole drug bust, that was still very rampant in Gotham to begin with, they would come out in force after seeing Batman's been gone for, like, 3 months. The police could handle it, yes, 100% agree. But not with the overwhelming majority of the common criminals that would come out. I don't think the police force would be able to handle. It's just, it's Gotham. The writing's shit. The writing's really bad. And the more you look at it, just the worse it gets.
It's just my issues, like, so again, to drive it home. So he's been a recluse for 8 years. He doesn't come out. He doesn't leave the house, whatever. At what point was he so into this let's save Gotham via energy project that he met Miranda Tate? Because that's how this whole thing got started. She brings the project to his mind. Mm-hmm. He invests his entire fortune into it. And then by Lucius Fox's own admission, then you just pause the project. And so your money doesn't go anywhere. At what point, and I was telling Griffin this, so I get the fact that maybe Bruce never was like, yeah, this shit's going to end up being a nuclear bomb someday. I get that. But at some point between Miranda Tate and Professor Poggle, you know, because he's the one that essentially created the formula for this, then they use him to weaponize it, of course. At what point was Bruce like, he had to have known. I mean, because there's board meetings, and why he was at any of them, fuck, I don't know, because he's a recluse. At what point did they not be like, yeah, so this is an energy project powered by nuclear power? So he had to have heard that. So at what point in time was he like, yeah, let me invest all of my fortune in it? How much do I have? Fuck, I don't know.
Honestly, do you just think that Nolan was...
But at what point in that time was he like, yeah, you know what, that project, I just invested all of my parents' money into it. Let's not go ahead with that, because that could be bad.
Do you think then, because this is kind of what I just thought of, because this makes the most sense, because there's decades of data proving otherwise, that Nolan was paid off by the anti-nuclear energy lobbyists to make this sort of plot line to get people scared of nuclear energy again, even though it's pretty safe and clean, and it just dramatized it to this degree to get people scared of it.
Who the hell knows, man? I hope that's not even the case, but if it is, what a dumbass. But it's just, and also, Lucius Fox runs Wayne Enterprises, and he has proven to want the best for Wayne Enterprises, and also what's
best for Bruce.
What's best for Bruce. He even tells him, she's quite lovely, talking about Miranda Tate. And Bruce is like, and he's like, we all just want what's best for you. Bruce is like, dude, get the fuck out there again, man. It's been 8 years. Stop being a little bitch. Yeah. But my question is, like, Fox would have known better. And even in one scene, he tells him, he's like, I kind of told you not to invest in this, and you did it anyway. Why the fuck would you go against what Fox tells you? He created the serum for Scarecrow's gas. He's
in like a day.
Helped you numerous times and never steered you wrong. Why would you be like, yeah, Fox? I mean, you clearly are better at running this thing than I am, but let's
This is the moment Fox should have pulled rank.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the whole plot hole, the whole Dr. Poggle thing that they go and kidnap him and they make him weaponize the thing. It's stupid, as Griff says, drowning the fucking thing. Would it stop it from exploding? Yeah, but it still would leak out and all kinds of shit.
A lot of nuclear radiation.
That whole plot is dumb. Speaking of Miranda Tate, which is, if you don't know by now, she's Thalia al Ghul. I saw the leaked images of her dressed in, and I knew when I saw her, I was like, that is 100% Thalia. There is no fucking way she's anyone else. I don't have an issue with her look. A lot of people are like, she doesn't look like Talia's supposed to look like. Dude, in the comics, Thalia has looked extremely Asian. She's been dark-skinned. She's looked white as hell. Yep. That's not even the issue. The issue, and a lot of people are like, her accent. I had no problem with her accent whatsoever.
Don't care about
Again,
that.
Thalia is a woman who speaks, I think, 33 languages in the comics. She's well skilled in martial. Her dad's Ra's al Ghul, dude. That's not even my thing. My thing is, she fucking dies. It's the lamest death I've ever seen. And I've seen some lame-ass deaths.
No, Bane's was worse. Bane's was worse. Bane's was definitely.
Well, I can make the argument for that because of that little speech she gives, like right before she dies. The way she dies is dumb as fuck. I do agree. Bane's death is stupid. We'll get to that in a bit. Talia's whole, and I even like the plot twist. I don't have a problem with the plot twist, like her like coming in and because again it echoes her father. She's Miranda Tate. She runs her own company. She's first of all, she's gorgeous as all hell. Very voluptuous woman. She's got these beautiful, dazzling green eyes. She's got this dark hair. She's great. Like, why Bruce isn't interested? He's out there like in pajamas
still
all day
pining
long.
over Rachel.
Yeah, what a bitch. First of all, and I will argue with anyone who says the contrary. She's light years better looking than fucking Rachel, especially recast Rachel. So Bruce needs to man the hell up. I like the plot twist. She's pretending to be someone else, and then because she does that in the comics too. At one point, she works for Luthor Corp. She takes over Luthor Corp. I'm okay with that. At the end, she's the big reveal. She's actually Thalia al Ghul. I don't even mind her stabbing Bruce.
Yeah. They
slept together. I really thought, I at least was like, all right, they're not going to say it, but, you know, Damien's been conceived. If he was...
dead now.
He's fucking dead because she dies, and her death is just... I don't mind her dying. I just was like, come on, man. Even Rach had a better death than this shit.
The movie's just really anticlimactic with it all. I personally don't like the League of Shadows connections in this movie. I just don't think it was something I needed to revisit. I would have been perfectly okay if it died with Rach. I didn't need any of it to come back to haunt Bruce. While I do think it makes sense, I agree it makes sense. I just personally don't like it when there's so many other rogues villains we just haven't seen. Not to mention Bane and Thalia were just... I don't like them. I don't like them in this movie. I think Thalia here, the actress did an amazing job. I just think the writing of it, once you know what you're looking for, there's definitely the hints all throughout the movie. I think it did a good job leading up to the twist. Revenge plots are just, especially for Nolan and everything he's written from the first and second movie, a revenge plot is just so tame and is so lackluster for him. Like, that's all it is. It's just a revenge plot.
If you listen to Thalia and if you watch the movie and you pay close attention to the journey, her dad was a dick. He wasn't even there for her, really.
She didn't. So she hated him.
At the end, she kind of forgives him, and then she goes on this, like, why would you go avenge the dude who was barely there for you? That shit makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just, I don't like it. I think the whole prison thing that Bane and her in was pretty cool. I did like that. It's just...
that shit was lame.
They couldn't have done anything better.
Let's jump on Bane.
Yeah, Bane...
fucking sucks.
I think Tom Hardy, with what he did, sure. I have no issues with Tom Hardy. I think the voice is lame as hell.
God.
I don't know why he does that voice. I think it's purely for comedy and comedic timing in kind of a sadistic way. I would have liked Bane better if he was the only villain in this movie, because once Thalia was introduced, he died the next scene and was just reduced to the muscle for Thalia, as he just died to just some gunfire by Catwoman. And I thought he was gonna come back and like a little bit later. Like he just died, and there's just nothing happening with it. I think that Bane was definitely memorable, and I don't have an issue that he's not like his comic counterpart. It's just I would have much rather had his comic counterpart. I think that would have been a much better storyline. Again, I don't like the League of Shadows here. I taking it for what it is in the movie. I think Bane tried to do what the Riddler did in the Batman, but both of them just had some very inherent flaws with it. It's just the villains of this movie really sets this movie apart from The Dark Knight and Batman Begins, as these villains just aren't very appealing, and I don't like them. I don't think they really elevated the movie or the plot in any sort of way.
No, of course not. And again, Tom, very much like Marion Cotillard, Tom Hardy, great actor. He's proven to be great in his craft. I think that for what was done here, he did the absolute best he could. And he had a great time, by the way. Every interview, he's like, dude, I loved working on Batman. I love Christian Bale. I love Christopher Nolan. And you can genuinely tell that the dude had a great time. Unfortunately, his Bane sucked. And for everyone that I've read online, like, we finally got a great Bane. You guys don't know.
Finally,
shit.
we never got Bane to begin with.
We've never gotten Bane. There's an animated movie, finally, Batman Nightfall, coming out next year. It's going to be in 2 parts because that's awesome. That's Bane. I can't wait to see that movie. Please don't fuck that up. And I'm not... You didn't even have to go full Mexican luchador mask on my ass. Just... His origin's so rich, though. You know, he's essentially... He grows up in this prison, not this fucking hole in the middle of the fucking desert somewhere. Taking care of little Thalia, going and falling in love with her. First of all, that's fucking creepy because she was a kid, and then she grows up, and then he falls in love with her. Yeah. That means he's a sicko. And, you know, he's got this teddy bear that makes him not be afraid of bats, and that's why he's got this whole, like, vendetta against Batman, because he's afraid of bats as a kid, and they purposely keep him in this shitty prison in some South American country, fictitious, of course. And when he gets out, they use him with this soldier venom, which is, you know, the Bane venom, and he gets super powerful and super big, and he could just break through shit. I can't wait to see that someday. And so when we see him here, a lot of things I've been complaining about in these last 2 videos about Christian Bale's bat voice, left and right. As ridiculous as that is, I can still understand what the dude's saying. Every time he speaks, I know exactly what he's saying. Here with this, it's just like that's all I hear.
I can understand Bane. It's just
I can't
it's
understand
just
Bane. I have to try really hard, and it sounds like fucking Kenny from South Park.
Look out! Oops.
Every time he speaks, just more muffled. That's exactly. I'm telling you, it's just that's exactly what you hear. It's dumb as fuck. The mask looks like a fucking thong thing. The way I understand Bane, and this is me, is that he's a very intimidating person. Much more intimidating than Batman when he shows up. And every time I've seen him in illustration comics, you know, even Batman the Arkham games, he's just big and intimidating.
Huge.
I'd be like, I've always said about Ben Affleck's Batman, that's not the guy that I would want to fight. Bane's definitely not the fucking dude I'd want to fight. If I was Batman, I'd just call in Superman. I'd be like, handle this part, dude. Here, not so much.
I still wouldn't want to fight
Tom Hardy. They had to give him, you know, like his boots are.
They're platforms.
Yeah, they're platforms because Bale is taller than him. I'm okay with that. The magic of movies, whatever.
Yeah, same thing with RDJ.
But when he's, you know, he removes his coat, which he barely does. He's not that much bigger than Batman. There's scenes where
I don't know. Talking about like muscle wise or height wise.
Just in general, he's not. I mean, he's bigger, but not by much. He's not
Bane's
this guy.
Huge.
I'm looking at him right now. He's not huge at all. He's big. I'm not saying he's small.
Okay.
And I knew they
he's
weren't going to
bigger than Bale, though, for sure.
Slightly. It's not by much.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying is he's not this hulking, intimidating thing. And when they fight, I like Bane's fighting. I like what Bane does. But again, Batman's doing this fucking thing.
He did punch Bane. He punched Bane once.
Okay.
But yeah.
But again, he's doing this fucking thing. And so, he does break the bat. as in the comics. I like that. He beats the shit out of Batman the first time. And it makes sense. I get that part. I'm not even complaining about that because even Alfred's like, you haven't done this for 8 years. And Batman's like all of a sudden thinking, it's like riding a bike. I'll just get out there and fight faster. No, you're going to get your ass kicked. That's exactly what happens. That's what would happen to someone who hasn't. You could be the world's greatest fighter and not practice your craft in several months and then get out there and get your ass handed to you. I like that because Bane's been doing this forever.
Yep.
I like that. I even like the fact that he takes his mask and breaks that too.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that when he shows back up, Bane's like, impossible, because he fucking broke him. That's what I would think if I snapped that dude's back. I'd be
Not to mention the guy healed his back in 5 months.
How the fuck is he back? Why? Why? Well, not magically, but it is dumb the way they go about it. But
it's movie magically.
Yeah. It's the voice. It's the what he's more militarized. I get it. He's League of Shadows leader Bane. He's not Luchador leader Bane. But that's my issue with it. It's not Bane. I get it. It's Nolan's iteration of Bane. But if you went Batman, bat costume, Joker, clown paint, Two-Face, half face burnt, why would you not go full on with Bane? That's my issue. Again, not the greatest. And the way he dies is he's the muscle, and you don't know he's the muscle towards just the last couple of scenes. Like, he's been pulling the strings. The League of Shadows, they're all afraid of him. They're all listening to him. And then all of a sudden, Thalia shows up, and I told Griffin yesterday, he's just her fucking guard dog. That's what he's reduced to. And then he just listens to her beck and call. And when she leaves, he's like, oh, I'm back in charge again. So he starts beating shit out of Batman all of a sudden, although Batman's been beating his ass for the last 5 minutes. And then Catwoman shows up and shoots him. And she's just like, I know guns aren't your thing, but they're my thing. And he's just dead, like a biatch.
I really thought he was going to come back later.
I knew he wasn't because of the fucking cannons in that bat pod. I mean, she's blowing through fucking tunnels and crap. So I was like, no, he's dead. But I was like, fuck, man. They Boba Fetted his ass.
Yeah.
Such a not great villain, but all right, he's your main villain. Let's do something. Let's get this final fight between him and Batman. I really wanted Batman to rip up the because it's not venom. It's this gas that like
keeps
it's like anesthetic and he doesn't feel pain, so that's why he's able to punch through that brick wall, which is stupid as fuck.
Batman I don't feel pain, so I can. Which is kind of crazy.
I don't feel pain, so I could punch through a brick wall. That's not how that shit works, man. But okay. But I really thought Batman was going to rip off the mask and he was going to start feeling all this pain and he was just going to beat the crap out of him. That didn't happen. We got this shit instead. So, and I guess now on to Catwoman because she's Catwoman only in name. So the reason why we don't see a cat, and that's not a big thing, but it's just she's Catwoman. So Catwoman's associated with cats. The Batman, she's got fucking half a dozen. She's the cat lady. Yeah. She's even drinking milk. I didn't need Anne Hathaway to drink milk, but I needed her with a whip. That's me, man. I like my Catwoman with a whip. I wanted her to be whipping some shit. Yeah. Don't see her with a whip. She does have a gun. She's a cat burglar, so that's where the Catwoman thing comes. And she's just wearing this like long leotard. She looks sexy as all fuck. I'm not even complaining about that. And her little goggles, when the visor goes up, they emulate cat ears. That's as close as you're gonna get to Catwoman. But the reason behind the why we never see, and there's an Anne Hathaway interview on Extra or some shit like that out there. I'll look for it. And she's like, hey, somebody asks her, like, well, what's up with the cats? I'm super highly allergic to cats. The shit will make me break out. I can't be around them. So and I understand that she's a high caliber actress. I have no issue with Anne Hathaway's acting abilities. I think I say this a lot, but a stunning, beautiful woman. And I think she's a good actress. But why would you hire the one broad in Hollywood who's allergic to cats to play Catwoman? Why, Chris? Why? Because I'm sure there's other great actresses out there. I don't think Anne's like the best. So that's my issue with Catwoman.
I think for Catwoman,
I thought they were going to tie her into the Falcons. I thought she was going to be like in the comics. Because I don't really understand her motive other than the rich people are mean and I got.
It's pretty much that she has too much of a record that's following her around. She just doesn't want it anymore. She wants a fresh start. I do disagree with you a little bit. I don't think Anne Hathaway was great in the role. I don't
think she's great in the role. I think she's a great actress. No, I don't like her.
Okay,
in the role.
yeah. I think she's probably the biggest miscast in this movie. Even besides her being allergic to cats, her and Bale just have no chemistry whatsoever. I didn't buy that whatsoever. It just, they lacked all chemistry, and like they weren't really flirtatious. It was with what we've seen Batman. I thought it was so lackluster. I didn't really get much of it. Like in comparison to like say like Ben Affleck with Wonder Woman, seeing Robert Pattinson with Zoe Kravitz, like this was super. It was very, very tame, I guess. And I just expected something a little bit more, especially from like Catwoman and Batman. The Bat and the Cat, when it's teased so much in the comics, so much in like animated series and every different movie. This was just, it wasn't it. I don't think it really fit. I think it was really forced together. I get why they ended up together. I think it's just, it wasn't, I guess, as flirtatious as I wanted it to be.
Okay, that makes sense. I did like their chemistry, and Nolan said he cast her because out of everyone that he auditioned probably every chick in Hollywood, that this was the one that had the most chemistry with Bale. How much truth that is, I'm not sure, but I dug their chemistry.
Fair enough. Some of the issues here with Gordon, I think it's just really plot convenient with a lot of things going on with Gordon.
None of that shit makes any sense.
Yeah, starting off, so he wrote this speech kind of confessing everything that happened with Dent and Batman. And this whole Dent's Day thing that really just looked like a funeral 8 years later. And he has this speech. And then a few days later, he's out on this case. And why the fuck does he still have his speech on him? Like, at least a day later.
Wearing the same coat. It's stupid and it's convenient. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I think Gary Oldman did an amazing job, but again, the writing is just really plot convenient just to move it along. And Bane wasn't going to be able to get it out of Gordon. I really don't think he was going to be able to. I guess it's the only way Nolan could think of. It's just too late.
Well, Bane didn't know.
Yeah, Bane, no one had any clue. Like, I'm saying, like, if Bane knew getting Gordon to confess, because that would add to the legitimacy of it. Yeah. It's just, that was my biggest issue with Gordon, is just that it just made no sense whatsoever. And he was benched for half the movie.
As an attorney, and I don't give free advice, but don't write shit down. If you've done something wrong, don't have evidence of it on you or anywhere. Get rid of it. Burn that shit up. It's stupid.
And he's had that speech for years, I bet.
Yeah, he probably wrote that
year one
at his funeral. He's been trying to read it. You know, it's my biggest issue with it is there's no repercussions for it. So like Bane finds the speech, he reads it to the world, and then Gordon is at a hospital surrounded by cops taking care of him, of course. And there's no repercussions for it. There's just like, yeah, this is the worst thing that happens to him. I kind of get it because
Bane takes over the next day. But it still should have been. There still should have been something.
He's just
besides Robin.
The worst thing that happens to him is that Robin, we'll get to that in a minute, tells him, I'm disappointed in you, Commissioner. You're just as bad as the bad people. That's the worst thing that happens to you, is a slap on. No one, even the mayor doesn't, I know the mayor dies, but there's no legal repercussions for Gordon lying for the last 8 years. He lied big. And he aided and abetted a criminal who kidnapped and almost killed his family.
Didn't turn in evidence.
He blamed it on he blamed it on someone else. And it's 5 dead, allegedly. We did the math.
We can't find the 5th person.
there's no 5th fucking person. We are questioning the 4th, really. But still, Harvey Dent did horrible shit, and Gordon covered it all up and blamed it on someone else. It's bad, man. Especially for someone in his position. He's the commissioner. He's the police chief. At worst, he would lose his job. He would, that shit.
At least he did pen and paper and didn't put it on his computer.
Still dumb.
It is really dumb.
Still his own admission.
Absolutely.
He admitted all his crimes. And then there's another thing so like his family left. His wife, she's clearly had enough of his bullshit, had enough of Gotham, and she leaves. Harvey Dent kidnapped her and her 2 children. And we've all seen the end. This shit was horrible. I mean, they were traumatized. You're telling me that woman's not fucking telling everyone, wait, it wasn't Batman, it was this son of a bitch? There's no way. There is no way.
Or the kid not blabbing at school or anything?
Yeah,
or when he's telling a therapist.
Gordon's very persuasive. Dude, you could be the best pipe layer on the planet. When you're a woman and your children have been kidnapped at gunpoint and almost murdered by some crazy bastard, you forget all of that and you're like, no. So that makes no sense. It's dumb because he has this like father relationship with Batman, but yet he let him take the blame for all the horrible shit that Harvey... Like, I get that they didn't want the Joker to win and that they wanted Harvey to be on his pedestal, But Gordon, thinking of the city and thinking of the citizens and whatever, it should have been, you're the hope for the city, not Harvey. Harvey fell. And I'm sure people will argue with me about that point, but it should have been Batman, the symbol, because that's what the trilogy started out as. You know, Bruce was like, I have to become this perfect, incorruptible symbol. All of a sudden, you take the blame for this dickwad, and so now you're corruptible, and that kind of defeats the purpose of it. Batman is perfect. He even.
But then
if
Batman's going to disappear anyways. What's the fucking point?
He only disappeared because he took
Rachel
the blame
died.
for this.
No, it's because Rachel died. If he took the blame, he still would have been out there every single night. He does not care what people think of him.
No.
It's just because of Rachel.
No, Well, this is...
You think the cops hunting him is the reason why Batman stopped being Batman?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with the cops. I think it's the fact that, and this is up for interpretation. Neither one of us could be right or wrong. But in my opinion, I don't think it has anything to do with the cops. Because
exactly.
The cops are supposed to hunt him because he's a vigilante.
Yes.
He's breaking the law every night. He's been breaking the law since he put the cowl on. No, I think it has more to do with him actually, in his mind, saying Batman's guilty, so he's in hiding. Not because he's afraid of the cops or anything. It's more so like so they don't see him, so they really believe the lie that, I don't think it has.
Nah, I don't buy that.
Because with anything, the whole Rachel thing, Batman always masks, or Bruce always masks his pain and his suffering.
I know, but I mean that's one thing that we talked about that we just don't like about that is like the entire reason he stopped being Batman was because of Rachel, and even Christian Bale even said that in this movie. He wouldn't stop just because he's thinking people are thinking he's guilty. He would go out there still saving people because people need to be saved.
Oh, I think Rachel's the reason why Bruce isn't out there 100%, which I still think is stupid. I think she's the reason behind Bruce not being out there. But again, remember, in his mind, in Batman's mind, Batman and Bruce are two different people. So I think the reason behind him not being out there is Harvey as Batman. And the reason why Bruce isn't out in the public or moving on with his life, as Alfred tells him in half a dozen scenes, is because of Rachel. Which I agree with you. I still think it's stupid. I don't know how that shit affected him. Love affects people in different ways, man. But 8 years is a long-ass time. Dude, move on.
Yeah. And then going into a little bit about Detective Blake, Robin, he's not really Robin. He's closer to Terry McGinnis than he is Robin. It's just essentially the next iteration of Batman is essentially what they just set up. Batman bounced, and I do like that he did get a closure. I like that Alfred got his dream. I dig that. I have no issue with that whatsoever. It's just, I do like leaving by the next steps for the next Batman if Robin should choose. It's just, the reveal that his name's Robin is just sucks.
It's stupid as fuck.
It's so dumb. As Edward told me before, Grayson would have been better. Again, he's more like Terry McGinnis than he is Dick Grayson. It's just...
So he's been Detective John Blake for the entire movie, which I was okay with. I was like, all right, fresh new character.
I'll take it.
He takes the Batman mantle. I'm okay with that. I was like, yeah, Bruce is off living his life in fucking Italy somewhere with Selena. I don't blame Bruce. She's hot. And then all of a sudden, like towards the end, they're reading the Wayne will, which is, again, is stupid as fuck. Because as Griffin said, the artwork alone in Wayne Manor would have paid for all of this shit. But whatever. So he goes up to this clerk, and she's like, oh, Robin, you should keep your real name. Why the fuck? I get it. This is Christopher Nolan's interpretation of an homage to a legacy character, whatever. Robin's not his name. Robin's his
Robin didn't even need to be there.
His crime fighting name. It's not. If she would have said, and I shit you not, if she would have been like, oh, Richard Grayson, you should use your real name. I would have been like, okay, it's Dick Grayson, guys. Why the fuck did she say Robin? That shit is stupid. I get it. I get why. It's still stupid.
Absolutely.
That's dumb. I'm not complaining that he inherits the Wayne, the Batcave and everything in it. I'm fine with that. As Griff said, I don't know if he's just a detective. Well, he's a fresh detective, so he's a beat cop.
Yeah.
He's probably going to get his ass kicked the first couple of nights that he's out there as Batman. That's fine. He even fixes the bat signal and leaves it out there. And again, it establishes that Gordon continues to be the commissioner because he's up on the roof again. And he's like, oh, the bat signal's back. Batman's back. So, again, really drives the point home that no repercussions for Gordon whatsoever. That's dumb as fuck. But again, we do live in a world where Donald Trump is president. So, whatever. But still, Why did it? It's just the fact that he's Robin. The fact that that's his real name that bugs me. The worst thing that bugs me about this entire movie. And there's many flaws, as Griffin and I have pointed out. And this movie has been hailed. And I was online last night doing a little bit of research for the video. And Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, they're all like, yeah, it's time to realize that The Dark Knight Rises is like the greatest movie. It's in my opinion, and everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. If for you, this movie is the greatest thing since Butter.
Go for it. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not dogging your opinion. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it's a far cry from it. And one of the things that really fucking bugs me is Alfred leaving. It makes, to me, no sense because Alfred swore an oath to protect Bruce Wayne. How the fuck is he going to protect him by leaving? And the way he leaves, the fight that they have, like Bruce is a complete dick to Alfred. I get it. Rachel was the love of him. Dude, shut up. Fucking grow up. Get over it. All right? Yeah. I mean, you eventually work through the trauma of your parents being murdered in front of you. Rachel didn't fucking die in front of you, dude. And she was an assistant DA.
Not to mention you saw her like 3 times in like maybe the last year.
I know. Whatever.
Oh, no, he forgot. He's a cyber stalker. He's fucking
still
crazy.
Weird.
Yeah.
Alfred's trying to get, from the beginning of this movie, he's trying to get Bruce to not put the cowl back on. And there's a scene where he tells him, he's like, yeah, I never really wanted you to come back to Gotham. That makes no sense. The first 2 movies, that's all you ever wanted was Bruce back in Gotham, being Bruce, and getting out there and getting
being happy.
Being happy. That's your main goal for him. So wait, you didn't want him to come back in Gotham because you knew there was nothing good for him here, but you wanted him to be out in the world training, math, fighting skills. You knew he was doing that for an ends. Yeah. And so when he tells him, he's like, yeah, well, I know that I'm telling you this, we're done. Rachel wasn't going to end up with you. She was going to go with Harvey.
I don't get why he spilled that either.
And she wrote a letter. And Bruce is like, what was the letter? He's like, I burned it because I wanted to spare you. Well, then why the fuck are you even saying it, dude? Yeah. If you don't have the proof to tell him, hey, look, don't believe me. This is what this bitch wrote. Then
that would have helped to get over it like 7 years ago.
Yeah. And then you guys wouldn't even be having this conversation right now.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been stuck in his room for 8 years. And then Alfred's like, and I know that the only thing I can do to stop you is leave. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he upright leaves. Batman wakes up the next day, his power's gone, the world's gone to shit for him. The thumbprints that prove that he's committed fraud. Fox shows up to his house, he's like, yeah, dude, he's like, why are you opening up your own door? And he's like, oh, Alfred's gone.
Michael Caine, who like even in interviews stated he has no clue why Alfred left, taken up with the writers and the directors. Like it makes no sense to him either. Like it's awful.
There are many flaws with this movie, despite what many may think and how many may praise it. But this is the one thing that upsets me the most. Why would he leave? And then he shows up at the end when he thinks he died. He's crying in front of their tombstones. He's like, I'm talking to the patriarchs, to the Waynes. I failed you. He's sitting there crying.
He did.
Like, why the fuck did you leave? Why would you have left? Regardless of, Bruce is a pain in the ass, admittedly. So he's hard to deal with. He's got crazy ideas. But you've been behind those crazy ideas from day one. And you guys even joke about it, how Bruce is like, if we ever get caught, I'm blaming it on you. Yep. Why would you leave? I don't understand Nolan's reasoning. Like, I get it. It's plot convenient. If he's not there, a lot of things can happen to Bruce. Yep. I don't know, man. I feel as strongly about this as I do about Luke Skywalker fucking just being exiled in the stupid-ass sequel trilogy movie that I just don't... it's not within character. And again, absolutely. If I didn't know any better, I wouldn't give a shit.
No. Actually, I want to correct you there. Because I watched this with my girlfriend. It's the first time she's ever seen these movies. She was questioning it. She questioned why Alfred left. I tried explaining it. It's just dumb.
There's no explanation.
She even questioned it every single. Like this is stupid.
A person that's fresh into this movie, it's just, and again, I've been reading this shit. I learned how to read with Batman comics. My dad used to come home every night, and no matter how tired he was, he used to read this shit to me. So I've been spending since I was 5. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 43 in 2 days. The better part of my life understanding these characters. So it's with. I've never seen Alfred dies to protect Batman in the comics. Yeah. So he wouldn't, someone who gives his life for you wouldn't. So it's a clear understanding to me that Christopher Nolan has great as a director as he is, he didn't really understand the character of Alfred, because Alfred to me would never do this shit.
This movie was rushed just to put it out and just filled with plot convenience purely to move it along instead of having an actual reason.
It's to me, it's the worst part of the movie. It's when it's watching. When I do revisit the movie, and I won't be revisiting it anytime soon. I just saw it recently. Watching that scene, I'm like, it just, yes, at the end they reconcile, and it's been, Michael has talked about it, Christian has talked about it, David Esquire has talked about it. A lot of people are like, it's up for interpretation, because then fucking Inception came out and they're like, oh, that the end of Inception didn't really happen. It's kind of like, no, all of them have talked about it. They're like the end scene where you see Bruce and Selena at some fucking cafe in Florence somewhere.
It's not up for interpretation at all.
They're really
so
there.
Definitive. It's so definitive.
That's not. Christian is like, no, he's not dead.
They even make a point about
like,
it in the movie where they say Bruce fixed the autopilot.
Yeah, he's like, because a lot of people are like, and I agree with Griffin. I don't know why it's even up for interpretation, but a lot of people are like, no, he died, and then Alfred's just imagining that. No, he's not. Bullshit. They tell Fox, no, the autopilot's been. They even say who fixed it. They're like, the tag says Bruce Wayne.
6 months ago.
It's crazy. So, no, he plotted his own demise, and he got the hell out of Dodge. He got the little fucking flash drive, and him and Selena just bailed the hell out. And as Griff said, they're not broke. This is a guy who, again, he's got offshore accounts. He's got connections.
He's fucking Bruce Wayne.
They're in Florence at a cafe. That if you're broke, you're not in Florence. You don't just leave. Where the fuck did he get a passport?
And they specifically planned that too to find Alfred, because Bruce knew from the start of the movie he was going to be there. That's not to say he wasn't starting there, but he definitely traveled there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they're everywhere.
They're alive. And Alfred, I do like the scene where Alfred sits down, has a little cafe or espresso, whatever the fuck he's having, and he does see them. And Bruce
Great
smiles.
Scene. Best scene in the entire movie.
And Alfred's like, it's heartbreaking to see, but it's also endearing to me to see Alfred be able to get that breath of fresh air, like saying, oh, okay, God, thank God, he's alive, he made it. I didn't fail.
Yeah.
But again, why the fuck did he leave? I don't understand, and I've heard Nolan talk about it, I've heard David Esquire. I still don't understand the train of thought behind it. The worst part for me is absolutely Alfred taking off, because he would never do that. He's a father figure.
Yeah.
And no loving father would just be like, it's the best thing for him, I'm just going to bail out. Wouldn't do that. And so it's so out of character. And so with that, and this is my final thoughts on this movie, I rewatch Batman movies every November because it's my birthday. And there's so many of them that have so many fun memories for me and that I really enjoy. But for me, this is the one that I have no issue skipping.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And let us know what your thoughts are. What do you think is the worst part about Dark Knight Rises, or do you enjoy this movie? And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy a review of The Dark Knight Rises, you can check out a review for The Dark Knight.